What's up, nerds? Welcome to NGR Radio, episode 57. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and those laughing fools. Matthew Keel, who's cool. I hate you guys. Just, I was gonna ignore it, and then the laughing just kept getting louder.
Like if Moose hadn't had the high-pitched laugh that he did, like he was getting away with something, like I would have been fine. I would have been fine.
Oh, man. Joining us, you know him from Nerds Gone Platinum, almost more than Moose at this point.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Jeff Glasson. How you doing, sir?
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. All right. Well, anybody been playing anything interesting? Anything good? Anything?
I think we
work?
know you've been playing something interesting that a bunch of us have already played. So why don't
So you're going
what
last,
playing?
Deering. Jeff, what have you been playing?
I always go last. I don't care. It's fine. I'm still doing the podcast now.
Yeah, so I've fallen down the Terreria hole along with Jason and Moose, and
More Terreria.
Yep, and
As someone who has to edit all the shows, I've heard more about Terreria in the last 3 weeks than I think anybody's heard about Terreria ever.
Dude, you should have seen me when I was playing that.
Awesome. Like
I was gone for a while because Terraria was on Vita, and it was like right after X-ray school when I got that. I was like, I would just sit anywhere I could and just play Terraria. That game is so good, and I am going to go back for the platinum.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. It's so deep, and the fact that we're just at that stage where we're probably a good 5 to 6 trophies away from the platinum, but it's in complete grind mode at this point. They're like pretty brutal at the end. I think we'll kind of share the responsibilities and try to chip them away together, and then invite each other into each other's worlds to get the last bunch done. But been having fun with that, and chipping away at Rise of the Tomb Raider 20th Anniversary Edition. Having a blast with that. Such a great game. Really cool, at least on the PS4 Pro, to be able to switch it back and forth between 60 frames a second and the high detail mode, the pseudo 4K.
Yeah, that game had me hooked from the moment that game starts and you're walking through the snow and you just see, like, if you're playing on a Pro and you switch it to favor resolution, it's like you see her walking through the snow, and like a lot of times, like, they show the footprints when you walk through the snow, but they're just like kind of generic footprints, like, okay, you walked here, so we have to put a footprint here. Like, you can see as she moves through the snow, you can see the snow like move out of the way, and then like the powdery snow fall back in a little bit to the path. It just, it was amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and a obviously great story as usual. And planning out my path to the platinum with that one, I started out on survivor difficulty so I can minimize the number of playthroughs, and so it looks like minimum of 2 playthroughs for that one to get the plat. But being very careful, getting as many collectibles as I can on the first run, and really enjoying myself. About halfway through at this point, so hopefully get that done in the next week or two. Especially because of Lost Legacy coming up pretty soon. With the similar type exploration and gameplay. Yeah,
it's next Tuesday.
2 weeks.
Yep,
next Tuesday.
No, it's next week.
2 weeks.
Jeez.
I thought it was
2 weeks.
It's 28th, right?
I guess 15.
People said there was a summer lull. There were games coming out.
Oh no,
dude.
You're right.
Tim Nestor, man, with his summer lulls.
It's everybody's golf is on 28th, I think. Well, you're right.
Okay, so it is the 21st,
it's next Tuesday.
22nd.
Well,
nice.
By the time people hear this, it comes out tomorrow. So
Yeah.
Don't take so long editing it, Jesus.
Yeah, and beyond that, I'm actually playing Grand Theft Auto 5, okay? I still have never gotten through the story on that. I started on Xbox One like twice, and then my son got it on PC, and he played the hell out of it on PC, and he ended up gifting me a copy on PC like, I don't know, 6 months ago. So this past weekend, after we got back from Comic-Con, he and I jumped into that and started new characters on GTA Online, and so we paired up, and we're creating our criminal dynasty in that game. So that's been pretty fun. So.
Father, son,
which it sounds might not go too far. because Jeff was telling us where he was like riding around with his son and he just started shooting people, and Spencer's like, "Dad, don't do that. You're gonna get it." You got to build it slowly and intelligently. He could just turn to his son like Wayne Brady in that Dave Chappelle sketch, be like, "I'm crazy."
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty interesting world there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love Grand Theft Auto 5. I played it on 360 and then I played it again on PS4.
I don't think I ever played the story mode. I think I only played online. I think I played enough to like, because don't you have to watch that first cutscene and be able to use your phone to get to the online, and then like after that, I never played the game. I always went online. Like I
enjoyed the game. I highly recommend going back and just, obviously the game's insane to platinum, but I just highly recommend going back and playing through the story. The story was fun. I enjoyed it. So,
the cool thing about that game, number one, just out of the fact that it's been in like the top 10 of sales ever since it's come out, is just absolutely amazing.
Yes.
But the other phenomenon that I'm just completely fascinated with is if you watch Twitch at all, Grand Theft Auto, naturally, it's always in the top 10 in terms of viewership. And I just browsed that game last night just to see like what people were streaming, whether they're doing online or story mode. And there is a complete niche of Twitch streamers that do role play within the game. And last night, for probably a good hour to 2 hours, there were within the top 5 most viewed channels. All those streamers were actually in the same game role-playing together. So they've basically created a community of people who love to watch this core set of streamers basically do role-playing and play as characters. They're voicing the characters. They're making up their own stories. One guy is a cop, and he's pulling people over for speeding and traffic violations and then reaming them out on the side of the road. Another person's like doing drug deals with this other people. I mean, it's insane. They're voicing these characters and making up their own soap opera. And literally,
awesome. You're waiting for the theme song from Friends to play, aren't you?
Oh, it's incredible. And the top 2 people had over 3,000 people apiece watching them. Wow. I mean, it was awesome.
Jeff, you need to send me a link to that Twitch, because I'd like to watch that. That would be entertaining just to see the amount of stuff that's been done with the Grand Theft Auto Online. I know a lot of people hated it because it got off on the wrong foot, but they fixed it. They did as much as they could to fix things. And I know people were upset because Heists took a year and a half to come out or something like that. So, but just like, I know there was a guy who played Grand Theft Auto Online, and he was just a photojournalist inside the game, taking pictures of people like doing crazy stuff. I was like, that's freaking awesome. It's got its own cool little community, and I think that's really cool that it's got it going on, and I hope they're gonna, if they don't do a Red Dead Redemption 2 online part of Red Dead Redemption 2, they'd be freaking idiots, because who doesn't want to be a cowboy with Westworld out on
I know NGR. That's exactly what I was thinking, Moose.
Everybody knows they wanted it when Red Dead Redemption came out, so I hope that they realize that there's space and room for both, and they don't kill off Grand Theft Auto Online, because they've already said, I think the CEO of 2K even said, the only way that Grand Theft Auto Online is going to go away is if we kill it. It's never going to die because there's so many people playing it. So I hope, I personally hope they don't kill it. I hope there can be room for both Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto Online, because I think they're both different enough to have people from the same community, but they'll bounce back and forth.
What if you access Red Dead Online through GTA Online in a Westworld type situation where you go to a place where
that would be awesome. They would be
just lean into it, Rockstar.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
It's gonna be called like Red Dead World or something like that, and you're just like, be a cowboy.
I still need to finish that series. I haven't finished Westworld yet. On HBO. It's just
I haven't watched it at all.
I watched the first episode, and that was enough for me to go, huh, this is really interesting. But have I been back? No.
Oh, that's good. Definitely got to watch.
I've heard it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to finish it, so maybe I'll do that this weekend. Anyways,
Moose,
Matt, what have you been playing?
I asked you first. I finished first.
All right.
That's what
I've been playing.
Yes, that is what she said, but that's a different thing.
As I stated, I've been playing a lot of Titanfall 2. The horde mode, quote unquote horde mode that they just released, is now got 2-time experience. So I've just been playing the heck out of that, enjoying that. I started up. So for Nerds Gone Platinum, my game of the month is Shadow Mordor. This is my 3rd time trying the game. I'm actually further in the game than I was before, and I'm actually enjoying it. So I look forward. I think actually after the show tonight, since we'll get done early, I'm actually going to go and fire that up and just sit and play some of that a little bit more. I encountered my first bug. Like, I was hanging on the side of a tower, and I moved all the way to the bottom of the tower, and it wouldn't let me drop off. Like, it wouldn't let me climb up, wouldn't let me drop off. Like, moving the analog sticks did nothing. Hitting every single button on the controller did nothing. So I just quit. And then when I restarted the game, I was back at like the tower where you like load up the game, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go play something else. So hopefully I don't encounter any more bugs with the game. But I've been playing that, a little bit more of Sundered. I need to get back to Sundered and play more of that. But other than that, those are the 3 things I've been playing, pretty much. So Matt, what have you been playing?
I platinumed Severed this past week.
Nice.
That game.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That is number 96. Thank you. That game is really good. I feel like this is what I love about Drinkbox. They can take a variation on a formula and they lean into every aspect of it the right ways. And like, I mean, they basically did a first-person Metroidvania with that game. And it's not exactly the most difficult of games. It's not the most difficult of Platinums either. But it's just like, I could honestly see them sending this to developers that they know do Metroidvanias and say, hey, look what we did. We feel like this could inform some things. And I think it's a really cool game. It's a good story. I wish it wasn't as touch-oriented as it was, but at the same time, someone's got to use that functionality. Why not a good developer like Drinkbox? I did a few more Spelunky runs because I have several problems. And I actually...
How's that 10th Bloodborne character going?
I am...
Not to side rail you, but you said you had problems, so I had to bring up our number 1 addiction.
I've almost beaten Bloodborne, by the way, now, thanks to Matt.
Yeah. He's on. I've actually plotted Corey's course to the platinum. I haven't told him about it, but I know it. Because again,
we should play. Actually, we should play that after the show. The 3 of us should play that.
I mean, you want to?
Yeah,
Corey.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna eat dinner first, but yeah.
Well, yeah, no, that's understandable.
Sustenance is a necessary thing. Why do you think I drink a beer every show?
I didn't get this body from not
eating.
But also, after platinuming Severed, I wanted something else to play on my Vita besides Fallen Legion, and I realized that I have Bastion, and I have not gone back to it since it came to PS4. And I started that up, and immediately, like, you hear that narrator. Like that game, like you take the narrator out of it, you put the game on mute, that game is still good, but that narrator is something goddamn special. And like honestly, like the minute I heard him talking, all I thought of was like the opening to The Big Lebowski. But like, it's not funny. But like, all I wanted was this.
No. I know.
I wanted this to play underneath that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, if that game had that, it would be probably an 11 out of 10. Because I mean, like I said last week, that is still one of my 10 favorite indie games of all time.
It's up there for me too.
Yeah, of all time. It's probably the only indie game that I've played as much as I've played Limbo in terms of like hours played. But yeah, that game is so like, and I know Moose and I'm based on the fact that Jeff mentioned it earlier, we like trophies. Supergiant, they structure their games trophy wise in a very organic fashion. And instead of, doing like a whole bunch of progression stuff, like story progression, and then say, okay, if you want to get the platinum, you have to do this stupidly dumb task. They actually put like modifiers on their games, and they did this with Transistor. They did this with Pyre, that make the game difficult, but it's not just like, we're going to make this game hard because screw you, player. They make it so you have to think about what you're doing. You have to think about how you're playing. You have to react to different sort of conditions, and I love that. I love the fact that Greg Kasavin and Amir Rao, I think, is the other real main guy behind most of their games. They think about it that way, and I mean that's because they came from a division of EA that made strategy games before they started Supergiant, and that game came out. Do you know when that game came out originally? Was it
2008?
Yeah, that game is 10 years old, and it looks like it has not aged a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they picked a beautiful art style. That's the thing.
Yeah, and I was
really good art style.
And Gen Z, who does all of who's like their art person, that is all down to her. Like everything in every one of their games is gorgeous looking. And then that'll lead me into my final game that I've really spent a lot of time with, and that's Pyre. That game is still good. That game is really fun. But once you get to the point where you play through everything once and you get to like quote unquote the final right. And I know this is probably going to be a spoiler, but I don't give a shit. You let one of your players basically go free. Like they have earned their freedom. You have to choose before the final match, and at the end they are done. But then everything starts over, and that's kind of like an interesting variation on New Game Plus, because every faction you play against after that has different modifiers, and you start earning options to like modify your own game to make things harder. And I'm through, I think 4 or 5 times now, and
oh, nice.
It gets, the difficulty spikes after like midway through the second playthrough, and it's tough. And it actually makes me really excited for just maybe one day they'll see how this has been received, and they might throw in online multiplayer. And I think while I kind of ragged on it last episode that they should have done it, I can actually see why they didn't, because they're not a big studio, so why would they invest?
Yeah.
So, but Pyre is, again, beautiful. It's really fun, and it's difficult in the correct ways rather than just being, like F you, the player. Mm-hmm. Corey, what you playing?
Wow, I actually played a lot, dude. Since we recorded last, I played about a half hour of Hellblade. I really just started it because I wanted to see what the trophy list was like, because I was talking to Jesse White in a Facebook comment thread or whatever.
He has the platinum already.
He has it, so if he has it, you can get it.
Well, you can get it. You can get it. you can get it in one playthrough, I guess. So like, the trophies don't really seem that hard. I think you have to find the hardest one is finding all the lore stones, which, you know, if you're looking carefully, you can probably find them. So I played.
But I think everything you find carries over. I'm pretty sure.
It does
somewhere.
Yeah. That game is a pretty game. I don't know.
And you're on a pro, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Okay.
I mean, it's just like I put it on my big screen TV out in the living room, and it's just like, I don't know. It's one of the best looking games I think I've ever seen. The combat is okay, but it's more of a exploratory story style game. But like I said, I haven't gotten too far into it. I just wanted to see what it looked like, and man, that game, jeez. But I played Bloodborne with Matt, almost finished. Matt swears I can get the platinum, so I'm gonna try. But
I love how I was invited to that. I see how it is, motherfuckers. See how it is.
Yeah, well, now you're not invited because you keep trying to invite yourself.
Yeah, bitch.
Matt, don't give him the password.
Oh, he knows the password. He knows it. It's his idea.
Know it. I think it's probably programmed into my PS4 right now.
Yep.
So.
I downloaded Pyre and Sundered because you guys have been talking really highly about those games. I haven't started either of them yet, but the game I've been really focusing on is Horizon. I mean, I thought 2 months ago that Zelda was going to be my game of the year, hands down. And like, as great as Zelda was, like, the things that Horizon just makes me feel while I'm playing through that game, just walking through the world, not even fighting the robots or anything, just like finding the vantage points, watching the videos, like researching the you know, the what do you call them, the ancient vessels, and like, you know, taking down bandit camps.
Cups.
Yeah, coffee cups.
They were coffee cups, but still, they're cool.
You know, taking out the bandit camps, like this game, like with a few little tweaks and the little touches, like Horizon 2 is going to be the best game ever made. Like, you know, I hope they tweak a little bit of the animations to make it feel more fluid. I think Aloy feels a little bit tanky. She's a little slow at reacting. But outside of that, like setting traps, you know, roping down off this ledge, like jumping off a ledge and doing like one of the airstrikes.
It's so good.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's so good. So last night I was in this corrupted zone, and there were two sawtooths and like what are the bellowbacks, the one with the big green tanks on their backs.
Those are
were they fire or ice?
Fire.
Okay.
Well, their weakness was fire, so
they were ice.
Okay, so ice. But anyways, I crouched down in the red patches of grass, and I crouched down. I set like three layers of the fire lines. You know, when they run into them and they explode into fire. I set 3 lines of those. And I shot one of them with one of those arrows that makes their components fall off. And like they started chasing me. They started chasing me, and I just watched them run straight at me. And all 3 of them, how many traps I had set up and how many bombs I had set up, they all died right in front of me, and I just watched it happen.
Yeah,
I was just like,
it is awesome.
You're just like, time to admire my masterpiece.
There's a video where you can like, where it shows you can put, I think, up to 12 trip lines down. And so you can farm the Thunderjaws. And so you put like 12 trip lines down, you whistle, and then it comes over and you just, like you said, you just watch it die.
Yeah.
Like it hits those trip lines and it's done.
Yeah, I laid down, I think I laid down 8 of them because that's the max I can carry right now. And I laid down 8 of them, and then I set down 2 of those proximity balloon mines. and just
those are the best. I love
man,
those.
dude, it was
so good.
It was so awesome to watch because I just backed up a little bit so I wouldn't get hurt, and then I shot them with fire arrows, and they all started charging, and they just all died. It was awesome, and I just moved on to the next area and picked up my stuff. But man, Horizon, dude, is climbing into that game of the year spot for me. Like, it's gonna be close. Man, it's gonna be close. Like, Zelda is a pretty game, and it is a great game, and the shrines and stuff were great. But Horizon is just, I don't know. Sony has something really special with this franchise, and I hope, they just don't F it up somehow. Like, that's my biggest fear, is like somehow they might F it up, but I don't think they are, because they did a good job with Uncharted and The Last of Us, and kudos to them for giving. Oh, what? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say kudos to them for giving Guerrilla some creative freedom, because like, judging from all the Killzone games, you would have never known that this studio had this type of game in them. Like, it's
totally.
Yeah, for their first shot
out, I
out,
was going to say, like, shout out to Sony for like just letting their developers do, what they want to do, because they know that they're going to do a good job.
Yeah.
So that's definitely good.
Yeah, and it makes me like, I'm glad I'm finishing this now, like finishing Horizon now, and I'm aiming for it to be my first or second platinum. I don't know whichever one comes first, Bloodborne or Horizon, but it makes me really want to play that Frozen Wilds DLC, and there's going to be just enough time between this and that it's just like, I'm going to be ready for more Horizon in November. So
make sure you jump on that pre-order if you haven't. It's a good.
I already did. Yeah, I already pre-ordered.
Oh yeah.
Good discount.
Stupid good deal for that. Yeah, that's a good deal.
So, but Horizon, man, it's I mean, I can't say enough good things about Horizon.
I mean, I think. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, the one thing like I miss from Zelda that I hope they implement in the next Horizon, it's not the climbing mechanic, it's the gliding mechanic. Because there's a bunch of times I find myself up super high, and I just want to jump down. Yeah. And in Zelda, you can just hit that jump button again, and the glider comes out. And Horizon, you can't
glide
really
down
do that.
To the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it'll be cool to see him like implement something like that. You know what I mean? Like, she's got a bow and arrow and all that stuff. She's got that technology. Maybe they could come up with something, to like you said, for her to glide. So,
yeah. But man, I can't. I'm 46% through the game, I think. So,
what level are you?
26, I think. 26.
Are you? So like, the problem I had when I played the game was I did so much. Like, I had so much fun killing the robot animals that I out-leveled the main quest. And so I had to put it on, like, super hard, because I was maximum level when I got to the final mission. And I had all my skills unlocked, like, except for one, because I needed points from the final mission to unlock all the skills. But anyways, I was pretty much maxed out. So I try, like, when people talk about Horizon, I try and recommend to them, like, hey, either, play how you want to play, and then when you get to the end, jack up the difficulty, or just follow the main story. So have you been sticking to the main story, or are you kind of like doing a mixture of just, I'm going off doing side quests, then I come back to the main story? Or
I was sticking to the main story, but when I decided to try for the platinum, I went back to like the first couple areas and am trying to clean up the side stuff, like the hunting grounds,
the hunting lodge stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to clean those quests up. The long necks I need to take down. I've found all the ancient vessels and the flowers and the vantage points up to this point. So
nice.
But yeah,
I recommend doing the hunting ground stuff because you get some really sweet weapons.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've gotten some cool stuff already. So
nice.
And have you looked at the trophy list pretty closely on that one?
Yeah, I went through, and a lot of the trophies are hidden, and I know a lot of them have to do with like story stuff. But they're like the full suns on all the hunting challenges seems like probably going to be the hardest one to get. as of right now.
I'll tell you, they're not that hard.
Yeah,
especially if you have to wait until you're completely leveled up to go back and take them on. Because like there's one where you have to take on like stealth. What is it? The stalkers.
Yeah.
You have to take on the stalkers, and you have to do a lot of stealth based enemies, and that one could be a little difficult. But I was so over leveled, and I just happened to spec my trees properly that it was like nothing. Like I was able to sneak around and be able to kill them, or get it done. So it just depends on when you're going to try and take them on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's why in the group message the other day, that's why I asked if you could go back after you complete the game. Does it just spit you back out into the open world? Because like I was thinking about just beating the game and then going back. So, but
yep, yeah. There isn't any way to not to lock yourself out of getting the platinum. There's usually, what I've seen so far, there's one specific trophy that requires you to do side missions with a complete set of characters. And depending on how many of those you do before the end of the game, it will impact how the end of the game plays out. I would recommend trying to do that specific trophy before you go to the end of the game, because then you'll have the best possible experience with the ending. It's not like you can't do the ending or anything, or it's not a bad ending per se. It just changes how the ending plays out. But yeah, I mean, you can easily just blitz through the game if you wanted to, and then go back and clean everything up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
They were smart doing that. So
every time I see one of those green exclamation points, I just sprint to it just to pick up the side quest, even if I'm not planning on doing it, just so I have it in my quest list. So
I know a lot of people had the issue with, there's a trophy where you have to get like all the friendly people, like all the allies that you could possibly get. I know a lot of people had a problem with that, but by the time I got to the end of the game, I just went through the visual checklist that the guy had on ps4trophies.com, I think it is, or the YouTube channel.
.org.
Yeah. .org. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Matt. That guy's pretty awesome. I love watching his videos.
Or are you talking about Power Picks? If it's Power Picks, he's powerpicks.com now.
It's Brian. It's Brian from PS4 Trophies, I think.
Yeah, Brian from PS4 Trophies. You're right, Jeff. So anyways, he was like, he had a visual, and I could just go down the checklist and be like, yep, did this, had this person. And when I did the end mission, the trophy popped for me. So that's the only thing, is making sure that you do all the side quests before that, or after you beat the game. Just make sure you go back and get those so that you can get that trophy when you beat the game again.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm glad that you're enjoying it, man, because that game is awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm glad I waited a little bit, because like I started it and was really enjoying it, and then I played Zelda, and then I didn't want to go from Zelda straight back into Horizon, because there's so many different mechanics and stuff that I'm just like, I don't want to ruin the experience for me. Just because like, you can't climb everything. There's no glider. There's just certain things in Zelda that make it work different than Horizon. And, I played a few games in between, like Mass Effect Andromeda. I probably played like 10 hours of that and gave up. Overwatch, Destiny, like I've played a bunch of games in between. So like now that I'm back into the thick of Horizon, it's just like, man, this game's just blowing me away. Especially visually, man. The way like, I was sitting there, and my wife came home and I was playing it, and she was like amazed at how like her hair was blowing in the wind, or like their facial animations, or just like, you walk into a town and you see all these flags waving, and like chunks of the bricks taken out. Like there's so much care and detail in this game that like, 90% of the population that plays this game is not going to really notice, but like, fans are just going to like, oh my gosh, it's just so good. And the soundtrack's really good. Like the ambient noise, the music, it's so good. And the way, like when you get up close on a one of the dinosaur or one of the robots, you're just like, you can see the wires and the components underneath their armor, and it's just like, there's so much detail in this one asset of the game, and it's just like, oh, it's so good.
I also, talking about the detail on the dinosaurs or the animals when you're like near them. I also like using the Terror Blast arrows and just watching component, because you could do a slow, there's a skill that you can get that makes your shots like slow-mo.
Yeah,
so
I've
you
unlocked
enter a slow-mo mode and just shoot terror blasts at the dinosaurs and just watch the slow-mo of the stuff just blowing off of
blow like
armor.
A giant hole in a thunderjaw.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Or when you take the armor off the thunderjaw and expose the sides of them to their reactors, and then you just start shooting your piercing shots into them. Oh, it's so good. The detail that they put in that game is just so awesome.
I feel, and I think I said last week that these games will be compared forever, and that's the best thing about them. And I still agree. I still stand by that. But I feel like Zelda was a landmark in open world design, whereas Horizon is open world building.
I mean, I think those are two. Those two games specifically are two reasons why people shouldn't just classify open world as a genre. Zelda is an open world adventure game where you can go find shrines, do puzzles, maybe take down a couple enemies. And then you got Horizon, which, at first, I was looking at that map, I'm like, this map's huge. How does anybody just explore this whole map? But Horizon does such a good job of leading you to the next objective and actually fleshing out the area of the map that you're in. And then as the map opens, it does a good job of opening the map piece by piece and letting you explore these little chunks of the map instead of worrying about the whole thing. And that was something that, The Witcher 3 did really well too, was you start in this small section of the map and then you move to the next area and then you move to the next area. So what?
I just watched Moose's head shake.
Oh, I know. I saw it too. I was trying to ignore it.
That's fine if you ignore it. That's why I didn't say anything. I just shook my head.
I couldn't. Okay. So
anyways,
anything else you're playing, Corey?
I mean, I've been playing Splatoon 2 a little bit, but it's not. I mean, it's just.
How you liking that? You enjoying that?
Yeah, it's good. I don't know. I'm too into Horizon to care about Splatoon right now, and I don't know. And Mario Rabbids comes out in 2 weeks, so I don't know. Splatoon will probably sit on the shelf, to be honest with you.
Or I don't know. You could play some Titanfall and just play the multiplayer where you wreck shop as a pilot, and then
play some real games, Derek. Seriously,
work up enough points to call in your Titan, and then really wreck shop. But.
Titanfall 2 is really good. Jeff, you got a topic?
Sir. Yeah, I'm going to mention a kind of intro subtopic first, just because I want to cue off something you had said in your playing stuff.
Too much.
No, you mentioned Severed, which is, I thank you for that, just because it triggered my mind. Geez, I picked that thing up on PS Plus a while back, and I haven't touched it yet, but. Number one, I wanted to mention, I thought it was really cool that Drinkbox had the balls, for lack of a better term.
Makes sense.
To actually release a game only for Vita. That was pretty awesome. But more recently, seeing that it's going to be coming out on the Switch, and the fact that it is one of the few titles that will be handheld mode only on the Switch, because obviously, as you mentioned, it's got touch controls on it, and that literally is the only way to play the game. Yeah. So I just wanted to. I know, Corey, you have obviously a Switch. Matt, I'm not sure if you have one or not.
I'm still Wii U in it, but you know, I want a Switch is on my want list.
Yep. Yeah, me too. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm just curious, at least, Corey, from your perspective, how do you feel about certain titles being handheld mode only on the Switch?
He loves it. I'll tell you right now.
I mean, it's fine. I've probably played my Switch on the TV maybe 4 times since I got it, and I got it on launch day. I
He uses
think
his Switch to avoid actually spending time with his wife. He'll sit next to her.
You're giving away the secret.
Sana doesn't listen to this show, Corey.
You don't know that.
I promise you, she doesn't. She hears my voice. She's like, "Oh, that guy. He's listening to his podcast. Tune it out." He'll sit next to her while she's watching. While they're supposed to be having TV time together. And so he's, I mean, Mr. Derek, happy as a pig in shit that Severed is handheld only, because he's like, yes, I can play this during whatever. So, this is my Grey's Anatomy game. That's what this is.
So Switch has become my handheld console, and PlayStation's kind of my TV console choice. So like the touch controls and stuff it doesn't bother me, just because like I feel like even though Nintendo's marketing it as a console you can take with you, I'm kind of thinking it's a handheld you can plug into your TV type situation. So I think Drinkbox said they did play around with motion controls a little bit, but they just said they just couldn't get it to where they wanted it to. So I'd actually never played Severed.
Is it not also on iPhone?
It should be.
It is. It's also on.
I was going to say it released on iPhone before it was coming to Switch. So
yeah, it's on iPhone and 3DS actually. So
okay. It's on 3DS.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm excited to play Severed. There was another game that came out that was touch only on Switch, and I enjoyed that a lot, called Viox or something. It was like a rhythm game where you had to tap the different squares to earn points and stuff. It was okay, but it's got a touch screen. You might as well make use of it. And if people have a problem with it that way, don't buy the game. Like that's just my point.
Cool.
But I'm excited to play Severed though. I've heard so much about it, and like since my Vita died, I just haven't had the chance to play it, and I'm not going to play it on 3DS because.
So there's the question: will you wait to play it on your Vita when you buy your Vita, or will you get it on your Switch?
I'll just play it on Switch.
He's like, no trophies. Right?
He's like, no
trophies.
But see now, Derek don't need trophies. That's not. He doesn't.
I'm hooked though now. Like after I get these, I get Born in Horizon, I'm gonna get hooked. You know that, because that's how I was with. How I was with achievements on 360. Like I didn't care about achievements until I completed Assassin's Creed 2.
Corey, Derek, you are so adorable. You could talk about, I'm gonna get addicted, I'm gonna get hooked, I'm gonna understand. But then you know what's gonna happen? Here's what's gonna happen. Destiny 2 is gonna get released, and you're gonna have an even bigger problem.
Hey, I'm only 6 trophies away from the platinum in Destiny 1.
Yeah, and guess what?
And 5 of them I can get by myself.
Yeah.
And you haven't gotten them yet? What are you doing with your life?
I don't play as a hunter.
Get them.
I don't care about the hunter.
And the 6th one is do the raid flawlessly, which is
this is why Jeff Moose and I have a disease. We know what you don't have, Derek.
I think the other trophy.
And the fact that I can point that out blows your mind.
Wait a second. Just wait till he gets into the Chalice dungeons and he's got to fight Amygdala, and he'll be like, "Fuck these platinums." I'm done.
No, I'll just hide the back while you guys fight.
Derek. If only it were that easy.
No, it's gonna be that easy. I know. I shaved today too. I almost feel like Matt. Except
what?
Matt shaved like 3 weeks ago. So
wait, what happened?
Shaved was like last year.
I know.
That's true. Yeah. I shaved at Extra Life in November. It was great.
There you go.
Bruce was like, "Wow, you have to shave." I'm like, "Yeah, that's weird. If I let this grow too much, I just look white trashy." And I'm trying to hide my Midwestern heritage as much as fucking possible.
So I'll switch into the main topic. Here's what I was thinking. I'm going to dip into retro gaming, and I'm interested in talking about the kind of resurgence of retro games as a result of the fact that Nintendo has gone through the launching of the NES Mini, now coming out with the SNES Mini, and rumors that they're going to keep going with a N64 Mini, etc. A little bit more into the nerdy side. Obviously, if you're familiar with the Raspberry Pi, they got the Retro Pi that you can create your own retro gaming console with. Also, Atari Box is on its way from a company that's licensed the Atari name. It's not actually Atari. But that's still a little bit of a mystery wrapped in an enigma because their marketing sucks so bad that they pretty much stomped all over themselves.
Because they don't tell you what exactly it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an enigma that we've had 3 comments on that breakout video of what the hell the Atari Box is. And like the 3 people that commented are super excited about the Atari Box. I'm like, why are you excited for this thing?
I'll be honest, when I saw the Atari Box, I'm like, man, I really need an Atari t-shirt.
I'm excited to play.
That's all I got.
I have one.
I'm excited to play Pitfall and Kaboom again, I guess.
Yep. No, but and then the last one I want to mention, just in terms of just how far this thing is going, is if you guys heard of the Dreamcade Replay.
No, please tell me more.
All right, so if you guys have any interest in a retro gaming machine, I would suggest you take a look at it. It's on Kickstarter right now, and this is not a promotion. I do not get any kickbacks from this. I'm really intrigued by this company. Number one, the company has been around for about 15 years doing all sorts of other things, so they have.
I'm gonna be rude and interrupt you. What's the name of the thing again?
It's
Dreamcade.
Dreamcade. That's all one word. DREAMCADE. Replay.
Okay.
It's on Kickstarter right now. It's 6 days to go, so definitely look at it soon if you haven't. They had a pledged goal of $30,000, and they're already at $135,000. Now, what's intriguing about this unit is that it's not Linux based. It's Windows 10 based, and it comes preloaded with all of the usual suspects for emulators as own custom UI, and it supports any Bluetooth controller as well as USB controller because it's Windows 10 based. They do have their own controller, so you can get the package that they have that includes a controller. But this thing, the base model, $99. Okay, you can't even get Windows 10 for $99. All right, and this thing has a 2 gigahertz processor in it. It will be crushing pretty much every emulator game that you can put on it. It might start to struggle with some of the higher end stuff. Like I don't believe it comes with Dolphin, but you could probably install it and get it to work. The Dolphin emulator folks would have to optimize it.
Most people say that looks better than the Wii.
Yeah. But
Dolphin was GameCube, right?
No, that was Wii.
Dolphin is all Nintendo stuff, so you can play GameCube, Wii, and Wii U games on it now on a PC. But this thing is poised to be pretty much the rock star of emulation. It comes with a bunch of games, thousands of games is what they're claiming. They're all licensed. You obviously could put your own ROMs on there if you wanted to do so. You could put your own emulators on there if it doesn't come with one that you want. Much more easily than anything else because it's Windows based, and you could connect a keyboard and mouse to it. So it's like it's really looking like a cool deal. So I just wanted to breach that subject. I think it's interesting to see kind of the mainstream aspect of it with Nintendo kind of pushing that stuff, and then other smaller companies like this pushing other retro games through emulation. And I think it's pretty cool. The thing is that I'm personally on the fence about the idea in general. Like I'm nerdy enough where I would go create my own Raspberry Pi and do that type of stuff, but only for just the tinkering aspect of it, most likely, because when it comes down to it, the nostalgia in my brain for these games outweighs the actual interest of playing the games for the most part, because I have memories of them. I played them as a kid, but I know that if I actually go back and play some of the older titles, that I'd be like, yeah, I'll play this for about 10 minutes and then get kind of bored and move on to something else. On top of the fact that systems like this that come with thousands of games, it's like, how long are you going to spend on each individual game? You're going to want to try everything, right? So you're just going to spend like 10 minutes on each one. But yeah, I think it's cool that it's happening, and I'm excited for smaller companies like this to do stuff, push the envelope. And this Dreamcade replay definitely looks like one of the top contenders for value for the money, that type of thing.
Moose, thoughts?
Price sounds good. The fact that you could play retro games, comes with licensed games and stuff. That, yeah, I mean, like $100 is pretty solid. But I kind of agree with, like a lot of people like jumped on the SNES, the mini SNES, and I'm like, I'm not gonna, like, that's one reason why I won't get a Switch, and that's one reason why I hate Nintendo, because they create artificial demand and they underproduce their fucking products, so everybody's trying to kill everybody else trying to get them. Just make it readily available so that everybody can have it, so that nobody has to fucking pre-order it. That's fucking bullshit. So that's why I fucking hate Nintendo. Number one.
Just to interrupt,
I think shut your goddamn mouth.
Hang on.
Fucking mouth.
I think
I'm talking,
but see, here's the thing.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
I'll keep doing this. We'll keep doing this.
Shut your mouth.
Hi. I think the demand is real. I think the shortage is fake.
Anyways, honestly, so I sat there and I looked at the SNES games, and I'm like, I'm kind of in the same boat as Jeff, as in like the nostalgia to play them is more so there than like my actual interest. I'd probably buy one, get it home, play it for like maybe a week, and then just be like, I'm done with it. You know what I mean? Like I have an insane backlog. And so it's like I have enough games on my PS4 to play without trying to buy a mini Super Nintendo or even this Dreamscade. Like it's just so like, I don't know. Like it sounds interesting and it's awesome, and it would be really, really cool for like $100 to add to my entertainment center. But I don't know. I think I would probably fall in the camp where it's like I'll play with it for like a week or two and then just call it quits. Like
it sounds kind of like
that's the only thing.
Sounds kind of like that Ouya thing that came out a couple years ago.
This sounds way better.
It's not locked. It's not locked into it's mobile games.
No, but I mean, like it kind of sounds like the same concept. Somebody trying to break in and do something different, and then it's just not gonna.
Really? You're going to poo-poo this, Mr. I have an NES Classic? Really?
I didn't buy it.
I know you didn't, but you have one.
I do. You're right.
There's a teensy bit of hypocrisy coming out of it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it sounds like something that sounds like a cool idea and might not pan out the way, some people want it to.
And well, but see, here's the thing. There's also the NES Classic that didn't pan out the way people wanted it to, because people were hoping you could add to it when it was a completely closed platform. Those, what was it, 60 games or 30 games?
30.
Okay, so those 30 games, $60, and then Nintendo didn't.
Well, if you want to be realistic, there's only like 10 games on there worth playing.
I'm not gonna have that debate with whoever's going to respond to me. But and then the NES Classic, like both of these things, the NES and the SNES Classic, both of them touch a section of my brain that makes me want them. I'm not going to deny that, but right after I moved to Philly in 2003, like that was when MAME became a super accessible thing. And because I worked an office job where it was literally like the dude from Office Space, I did 15 minutes of actual work a week. So when I found out a way to emulate Nintendo games on my work PC, fuck yes, I did it. And if there's a way to do that at home, I'm definitely interested. And I would put down, $120 to do it. Not that.
How did you work an office job? That's what I want to know.
Well, up until I went to X-ray school, I worked an office job. Believe it or not, people would hire me. I don't know why.
What did you? No, but what did
People
you do
still
in an
hire you.
office?
People still hire you. You have like 6 jobs.
I don't understand.
To quote that angry guy in Office Space, I'm a people person. People like me. No, I did a bunch of odd office jobs. That's a different podcast. But
Okay.
But I, like the first time I was able to beat Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on an Office PC while I was on the clock, it was a good time.
Nice.
I actually had my cubicle neighbor next to me. He had said he had came over and saw me playing like ActRaiser or whatever, and he's like, "Is that ActRaiser?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "How are you doing that?" I'm like, "I'm awesome." And he's like, "How can I be awesome too?" I'm like, "Well, here, check your email." He goes over, he's like, "Whoa, you have like 800 games here." I'm like, yeah. Most of the arcade ones don't work. Don't try them. It'll shut your computer down. I already fell down that hole once. And he's like,
at least you were nice enough to him to not let him fall down that hole.
yeah, I mean, it's like when we played Bloodborne, Moose. I'm like, don't.
But you fucking threw me down that Bloodborne hole.
Remember that hole? Remember that hole? And see, okay, we're going to kill this pig, and we're going to walk all the way back. And I'm like, Moose, you see this hole? Don't fall down it. And,
Yeah, I remember.
And then, he'd be like, he's like, "Hey, did you ever play Legend of Zelda?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude. It's like my favorite game of all time." It's like, "How do you get to?" I'm like, "All right, I'll come over." And then, I basically walked him through Legend of Zelda, the original one for the NES. And but I had the arcade emulators for like Double Dragon, Bad Dudes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, X-Men.
Dude, Bad Dudes was awesome.
Fucking right it was.
I had that on NES.
The idea of having that again, but on my TV, because I didn't have it on my TV at the time. Yeah, I would totally go for that. And am I going to get $120 or $100 worth of fun out of it? Probably not, but it'll be one of those things that I have that just in case. I look at my Vita, I look at my PS4, I look at my Wii U and say, you know what? I don't have any of this that I want to play. What old stuff do I have? Boom. Dreamcade replay. Done.
Yeah.
And the fact that, I don't have to rebuy a Wii to play Mario Galaxy.
I would like to say that in my rant about the classic NES and the classic SNES, I'd never had a Super Nintendo. So I would actually, if I could get my hands on that, that would be cool. But I'm not gonna break my back looking for pre-orders and stock and all that. I'm not going through that.
Yeah.
If I can't get one, that's fine. I'm still in the same spot. I still have a super big backlog on my PS4, on my Vita. It's fine if I don't play it, but if I were to happen upon one, I would pick up a classic SNES because I never owned one.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I would love to, I heard recently about a mini, it's either a mini Master System or a mini Genesis. And, most of the games that are actually on there aren't Master System or Genesis games. They are just random bullshit that they were able to put on there. And I feel like this Dreamcade replay is billing itself more honestly than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about the arcade box. The fact about the arcade box and those retro arcade games from Atari, the one problem with those is just about every single one of those has evolved mechanically in the 30 to 40 years since the original Atari was released. You want a good Asteroids game? Super Stardust. You want a good Tempest game? Dyad. You want a good Defender game? Resogun. In fact, if you want a good arcade game, look at Housemarque. They're pretty much doing it.
Yep.
Freaking Next Machina. Next Machina is freaking insane. If you
what is that game? I don't even know what that game is.
Oh, it's like a twin stick shooter, but it's just so good. Like they took like the trying to capture like humans, like save humans from Resogun, and moved it into like a twin stick shooter where apparently like in the distant future, like robots just take over mankind, and so you're trying to like rebel, and so you just move from like level to level, and so like in each level you get bonuses from saving each of the humans. And what's cool is like you'll pick up a weapon and you can take that weapon with you, but they punish you by like you get 99 continues, I think, when you just play it on regular. But they punish you because like you could have 3 power-ups. So like you could have like a spread shot, you could have like a slash move, and if you die, you lose one of those, and then you could go back and pick it up. But if you die again too quickly, you lose both those power-ups in that spot. And if you don't get to your power-ups, you're stuck with your generic weapon that you start with from the beginning of the game. So it's a lot of fun. Like if you love arcade shooters, twin stick shooters, and you liked Resogun, I highly recommend picking up Next Machina. It's a lot of fun. Housemarque knocked it out of the park with that. And in fact, their next game, Matterfall, launches tonight at midnight. So I mean, it comes out tomorrow, but I mean that game just looks so freaking awesome. It's like the next level of like what Mega Man could be, in my opinion. Like they're taking like Mega Man side-scrolling shooting and just taking it to the next level. So, anyways. All right, Matt has gone somewhere. Anyways.
Matt's gone. Yes, now we can start the show. All right.
Sweet. We can actually talk about like cool stuff. So, I apologize, Jeff. I didn't hear whether you said you were getting one of those, the Dream Cade thing or not, or are you just interested in it?
I'm interested in it. I haven't done the Kickstarter yet. I have 6 more days to decide. The price will go up.
I saw that,
obviously, but
I did see that.
But yeah, I'm definitely interested in it. I mean, just the fact that it costs $100 plus tax for a copy of Windows, and the fact that it runs on that is just kind of the no-brainer. It's just a matter of whether I want to spend $100 on it right now. So we'll see.
So I want to throw out like a mini topic here, because you're talking about Kickstarter. You haven't taken the dive yet. You got 6 hours.
6 days.
6 days. I meant. I'm sorry. Thank you. So like on a side note, on a personal level, have any of you backed a Kickstarter? If not, what's your stance on that? And would you in the future? Personally, I have not backed any Kickstarter because I feel like any game that's worth its lick of salt if it's going to be really good, it's going to hit its release on PlayStation 4, tier, or its goal, or on Vita. Like there's a lot of Kickstarter games that I'm waiting to come out. Like Chasm was on Kickstarter. Heart Forth Alicia was on Kickstarter. Blasphemous, which is kind of like a 2D side-scrolling, like 16-bit Dark Souls. So I would love to like help those games, but then like you look at them and it's like if they don't get made, you lose your money. You know what I mean? Like that's the downfall. So that's why I will probably never back anything on Kickstarter. But what are y'all's stances on Kickstarter?
Anybody?
So Matt, you apparently
anybody mind if I just go first?
Go right ahead.
Okay. I've backed 1 game on Kickstarter. I've backed 2 Kickstarters besides that.
Did you do Dark Souls, the board game?
I did Dark Souls, the board game, and I went in deep on that. And
what's understandable.
And from my opinion, what I got and what I still have yet to get, I'm excited for that. And then it introduced me to a board game developer that, like, if I had not backed this game, I wouldn't know a board game called Guild Ball. And Guild Ball it's cool as hell, and I can't wait till I can actually, like, get through a full game of it because it's actually super complex and kind of weird to wrap your head around. And sometimes there's just not enough time to do it. I also backed, I know Moose, you've seen this, but like I have a Dark Souls hoodie that is themed after Knight Solaire's armor. You saw it at Extra Life. That was a Kickstarter.
Yes. Okay, cool.
And it took a year and change for me to actually get it, and that wasn't anything other than it was just one dude doing it, and he's like, look, he was
I gotta make everything individually.
Yeah, he was forthright about everything. He was like, look, I did not expect 300,000 people to back this. So
wow.
like I think percentage wise he might be in like the top 50 highest percentages of Kickstarter. He was like, I think he was well over 5,000% of what he needed.
Wow.
So and he's like, I'm doing this myself. I will give you at the bare minimum monthly updates. And he sent me an email every goddamn month like clockwork.
Mm-hmm.
The third thing I backed was because I love a Metroidvania and there's nothing that's going to take that away from me. I backed Bloodstained.
Okay.
I would have backed Mighty Number 9, but I found out about that late, and I'm glad I didn't put money into that bullshit.
Yeah.
Because it looks awful.
Yeah.
And for a long time, even after the Kickstarter was funded, Igarashi and his team were definitely communicating. And then I don't remember the most recent communication, but a couple of times they're like, okay, you're probably not going to hear from us for a bit because, we got a game to make.
Yeah, which is good, rightfully so.
Yeah, and they're just like just let us do it. We will keep you posted. And even with like Dark Souls, the board game, I have the core game. It shipped ahead of schedule. The stretch goals and everything, like all the summons, all the expansions that they met stretch goal wise, they're like, okay, as soon as the Kickstarter, ended, because it was funded like I think 300%. Steamforge Games, the developer, basically said, okay, here's our plan. We're going to do the core game first because that's what the majority of people want. We recognize that a bunch of you back stretch goals, put in extra money, like me, because I've got like 5 expansions coming to me. Like it's ridiculous what they did. But as long as you get a Kickstarter, as long as you get a person kickstarting that you feel is going to be communicative, I would go with it. So even like now with this Dreamcade replay, I didn't do it on the podcast because I'm doing a podcast, but I would definitely like see what kind of updates that Kickstarter is keeping while it's active. That is what would make me back or not back. Personally, I won't. I with the exception of the one thing that is like my weakness, which is a Metroidvania. The only other thing would be a roguelike, and I don't look at roguelikes on Kickstarter because I will just be out of money. And I've got vinyl to buy, so
that's true. And indie games are coming out to the PS4. So.
Exactly. So I don't have much to worry about, but I generally won't back a video game on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I
think I'll find something to back on Kickstarter. I just haven't plunged yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And pretty much everything that I come to find that I want to back, it's already closed. Chasm's already closed. I think Blasphemous closed like maybe a day or two after I found it, and they already had it'll be on PlayStation 4 and it'll be on. I I don't think Vita, but they already had the goal that they were going to put it on PS4, and I'm like, I don't need to try and push it to that.
You
know what
don't,
I mean? So,
but if for some reason there was like, I would actually like within a week of a Kickstarter backing, I'll still go look. Because they do things called slacker backers. Like, hey, did you find out about this late? Because they recognize that shit happens.
They did that with Blasphemous. They did that like a week later after it closed. They were like, hey, if you missed backing our project, or our Kickstarter, you can come in and back it and still get the same deal. They did do that. So that was pretty cool.
I mean, and Dark Souls opened up a world to me that I was not ready for. It opened up board games. And I started listening to board game podcasts. I started looking at, what's going on in the world of board games, because I'm like, okay, I've seen how Dark Souls can translate to a board game. And I actually, retrospectively see where Dark Souls came from a board game, because it really came from D&D, whichever way you want to look at it. And I actually found a Kickstarter that I wanted so much to back, but I'm like, who the hell am I kidding? I don't have anybody around me that will even come close to trying to play these games with me. But like I've found that a lot of that is really interesting. And like, I don't want to play Dota, but I'll tell you what, Riot put out a game called Mechs versus Minions, where it's two people against the game. Wrap your head around that. It's you and everybody at the board playing against said board. And that was a concept very difficult for me to wrap my head around until I played the game Pandemic, which is basically a whole bunch of card draws. But it's basically everybody at the table against those card draws. And that has made me think about games way differently. So, and that all comes from Kickstarter, believe it or not. I know I'm on a tangent now. Somebody else.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get off it soon.
Yeah, someone else take this, because I need to stop.
Jeff, what are your thoughts on Kickstarter? Like them? Don't like them? What
So I haven't backed any. I've been tempted. I've seen my fair share of companies that have had successful Kickstarters and then disappeared in the wind.
Yogscast.
Obviously, seeing the Ouya and what happened with that, it's like everybody was so hyped for that thing and it ended up being a piece of crap.
Yeah.
So, but then you see success stories like Divinity Original Sin. I mean,
Hyper Light Drifter.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Shovel
like there's
Shovel Knight.
Yeah. There's some great success stories there, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're not pre-ordering. You're basically donating money or letting them borrow it in the hopes that you'll get something in return. Now, what I think makes things more attractive to me for considering a Kickstarter is those step bonuses, the step goals, and what you get. If you're getting little extra things here and there along the way, then I think that's worth it. And of course, I've seen some Kickstarters where it's like, geez, I'd love to get in at the $1,000 level, but I'd never do that. But it's like, because what they're offering is just amazing. It's like really cool opportunity or whatever it is.
Almost wanted to pull a trigger to be a part in that video game.
Yeah.
They got like some of them as stretch goals where like you can design like enemies and your name
or a boss
is like,
or something.
Yeah, or a boss and your name is like used in the game. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool, but that's a stretch goal that's like way outside. Like, your game's coming out on the PS4. It says it's coming out on PS4 on Kickstarter. I probably won't back it. I will buy it on PS4.
Word.
Because, I'm into it. But I just don't see myself investing like the thousands of dollars to be like, I want to create a boss and I wanted to have like my name or something. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, we've had that conversation on Nerds Going Platinum about pre-ordering, not outside of Kickstarter, just talking about pre-ordering games and what everybody's opinion is on that. And I explained there that I don't pre-order very often. I did pre-order Horizon Zero Dawn.
Lost Legacy.
Yeah, in Lost Legacy, but those situations, even Horizon Zero Dawn, I didn't pay full price. I'm layering, the Gamer Club Unlocked plus credits on top of it and getting a good deal. So my cheap ass generally does not pre-order, and Kickstartering, even though it's not a pre-order, it's still mentally a pre-order, and I just don't put that money towards that. I'd rather wait, and even if I'm paying a little extra more money on the back end, at least I've got a little more peace of mind that it's I'm actually going to get it because it's a physical product at that point.
The one thing you should remember about Kickstarter is it's only a pre-order if it's funded. If it's not funded, your money comes back. If it's funded and that person decides, fuck y'all, like Yogscast did, your money's gone. And you have no recourse with them.
Yeah. And
that's the shitty part.
Right.
But apparently recently, as 2 weeks ago, I think Fig turned a profit.
Wow.
Which that's the crowdfunding.
That's the one by what's
where
his
it's
name?
an investment.
Schaefer?
Yeah. No. Well, he put something on Fig, and I don't know if it was him, if it was his product that actually turned a profit, but there was something on Fig recently. I think Waypoint posted it where they posted a 2-to-1. Man,
nice.
I gotta quit drinking.
No, you don't.
I know.
You gotta drink more, rookie.
Rookie.
Corey, what's your stance on Kickstarter?
I mean, it's a cool idea, but I mean, I'm kind of in the same place as Jeff. I've seen too many of them go just non-existent or wrong. Like Mighty Number 9 is an example. Like the people are just now getting the rewards, and they're not the rewards they promised or whatever. And like the make your own box art, like they sent them these cardboard boxes that they had to fold themselves, and it was just not.
Jesus ridiculous. God, that's bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But then like, if the game comes out and it's good, like I'll buy it. Like look at Shovel Knight. Like I didn't pre-order that game, but I've bought it like 3 times. I have it on PS4, Wii U, and now Switch. Like
get that platinum, Corey.
No, I didn't say I was good at that game. I said I enjoyed it.
I don't think he's gonna get that platinum.
I don't know if I'm gonna get that platinum.
I'm gonna say I don't think I'm gonna get that.
It's real difficult.
Yeah,
but I mean, like it's on paper, it's a cool idea. It's just too many people seem to overpromise, underdeliver, abuse it. And so if the product comes out and is like, okay, it's good, like I'll plop down a $20 for Shovel Knight or something along the lines. Like I think Bloodstained looks awesome, but I'm not going to back it. I'm just going to wait till it comes out, and I'll just buy it when it comes out.
I mean, and
which I don't think you can back it anymore because it's already.
You can.
Closed.
It was funded in the first. It was
funded
day.
like a year, like 6 months to a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was
as soon as they launched it, it was funded and they closed it.
And I heard that back when I was listening to Podcast Beyond, and it was funded in a day. It was funded in under a day, and I got in. And I'm gonna admit to some sins here. I got in at the $150 level because I wanted the art book because I have problems. I have problems.
not problems, Matt. Addictions. Vices.
No, I've got problems. 10 characters in Bloodborne. I don't know how many across the Dark Souls series at this point. Issues.
Yeah.
For those of you watching the video.
Speed of issues, the other issue I have is something like Shenmue 3, where like
fuck that shit.
They post this Kickstarter and they raise money, and then Sony turns around and helps them. Like,
that's some bullshit right there.
Like it was. I think they improperly dealt with that. Sony wanted the game to come out. But I think the way they handled it was bad because, like, with Bloodstained, I know the creator said we can get people to help us pay for the development of this game. We just need to raise enough money on Kickstarter for them to actually step to the table and say, okay, here's the money, we'll invest in you. That was probably the same case with Shenmue 3, except they didn't say that up front. Sony's showing off Shenmue 3 at, what was that? That was PSX, or was that E3? It was one of the two shows.
It was E3. Everybody flipped their
That's
shit.
right,
E3.
it was E3 because everybody flipped the fuck out. And they're like, why is there a Kickstarter? Another case in point is the Banner Saga 3. Banner Saga did great. Banner Saga 2 did great. Why are you going back to Kickstarter to kickstart Banner Saga 3? You should have enough money to make that game. What is going on?
I'll step in there mainly because I feel like the one thing, like Schaefer was super open about the Broken Age Kickstarter. He said, we got way more money than we expected, so we wanted to make the game that deserved that money rather than what we wanted to make our original idea. So they basically, like, the reason you get 2 stories in Broken Age is because so many people funded that game.
Right, which is understandable. But Banner Saga 3, first game does great, second game does great. Why does it need a Kickstarter for the third one? You should have enough money off of both those two.
But see, what if they're using all that money to develop each game? I haven't played Banner Saga
Devil's
1
advocate,
or 2.
so that's understandable. Yeah, no. I see where you're coming with that, Matt. I see.
And then on top of that, at least with Igarashi's game Bloodstained, he said, look, we are not building this from scratch. We have a backer, but our backer wants us to come to Kickstarter to see what demand is.
Right, yeah. They want to see that. That was his point, was we want to see what demand is before they want to see what it is before they invest in us.
Yeah, at least it wasn't. At least it was a PlayStation going, hey, we're at E3 announcing a Kickstarter.
Yeah. Like, I mean, with
so all of you that have boners for Shenmue 3.
I wanted that game. And it's like, because it's Castlevania. It's 2D side-scrolling Castlevania. Who doesn't want another awesome Symphony of the Night type game?
Fucking right, dude.
You know, like bring it out, man. That's awesome. So that was good that they got that demand and was able to get that funding. But anyways, it's about time for 20 questions.
Yeah.
Corey, you ready?
I'm ready.
Jeff, you ready?
Jeff,
sure. Do it.
All right, who's running the timers? Because I'm on my phone with the timers.
Matt's running the timer because it's his game.
Hang on.
Moose, explain the rules to Jeff real quick.
All right, Jeff. So here's how the rules go. Matt is going to call out. We're going to go in order, and he's going to call to the person and say, "Are you ready?" And as soon as the person acknowledges, "Yes, I'm ready," you get 30 seconds. You get 30 seconds to ask your question.
It's a yes or no question.
No, it's not yes or no questions. You can. Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. No, you're right. Yes or no. Sorry. So at the 5 question intervals, we get a 2-minute period, 2 minutes, which we have to say, yeah, we're ready. Like, are we, and so he'll start the 2-minute timer where the 3 of us, you, me, and Corey, can talk about which questions we've asked, what we should ask, and move into the next 5 questions. At the end of 20 questions, we get 5 minutes, and only 5 minutes, to discuss what game we think we should be guessing, and then we have to guess the game.
All right.
Does that make sense? It's like speed round. We did this last time, and it was awesome because
it was so tense. It was scared. I was so scared the entire time. It
was super fast, and it was awesome because I know, like, I used to hate 20 questions because it used to drag out so much. And when we got the 20 questions, I'm like, it's freaking 10, 11 o'clock at night. I want to go to bed. I don't want to do this stuff. But now, like, last time we played it, it was awesome. It was like really cool and really quick. Like, but anyway,
we finally figured it out. Corey, I'm going to ask you a favor. Can you keep track of questions?
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
All right. Now, Corey?
Yeah.
Your channel, your show, you were up first. Clock is starting now. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Did this game come out after January 1st, 2000?
No.
Okay. It's Moose, right?
Jeff's up next. He's the guest.
Okay.
Did this game is this game on console only?
I actually have to double check. I'm sorry.
Take your
Stump
time.
the DJ.
Take your time.
At this point, no, it's not on console only.
Okay.
Moose.
Starting now? 30
Yes.
seconds. Is this a 2D game?
Jesus. Yes.
Okay. So it's 2D. All right.
Is this a licensed game?
Yes.
Ooh.
Jeff.
Does this game cost more than $20?
At this point, probably not. That's 5 questions, gentlemen. Talk amongst yourselves starting now.
All right. So we got 2D. We got doesn't cost more than $20. It's a licensed game.
Did not come out after January 1st, 2000.
Did not come out after January 1st. So
Okay.
and it's not on consoles yet. So
Right.
it's mainly PC, correct? So it's PC game. It's a licensed game.
No, I believe the question
No,
was,
it's-
is it on consoles only? And I said at this point, no.
So it could be console and PC.
okay.
So
So it could be console.
So if it's a licensed game, do we want to see if it's like multiplayer? Because there's a lot of the licensed
That's a good
brawlers.
question to ask.
Uh,
So like one question we got is like multiplayer.
yeah.
So we could ask that. Do we want to ask if it has, well, obviously if it's 2D, do we want to go like, is it side scrolling?
Yeah, we could see if it's side
You've been
scrolling.
talking a minute.
We could ask, okay, so then we could also ask, do you play as a human? Is there like combat in it? Do you shoot something? You know, like
Yeah,
those
we
are
could
some
ask-
of the
we could
questions
ask
that
about-
we could ask.
Ask about combat. We could. Do we want to try to narrow down console or not yet? Like console generation ish, kind of, or not yet?
We could do that. Yeah, you could totally do
Well,
that because it didn't.
Console may not help too much though, knowing the console,
A minute 30.
It's true.
because it's not Nintendo.
Right, because it's licensed.
Well, it's also on PC. It would be on PC too. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not Nintendo. Who asked the first question coming out
You.
of the gate?
You.
Me.
Yeah.
15 seconds.
I'm going to ask if you play as a human. Does that sound good?
Okay. Okay.
All right. So I get my 30 seconds at the end of this 2 minutes.
Right.
All right. Let
2
me know
minutes
when,
is
man.
up.
All right.
All right. 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Do you play as a human?
Yes.
Okay. She plays as a human.
Corey.
Is this a multiplayer game?
No. Jeff.
Ooh.
Does it have, has it been remastered ever?
No. To my knowledge, it is not.
Okay. Okay. Is that back to Corey or me?
It's you, Moose.
You.
If you
So
want
do I
to
wanna-
think,
I'm
I'm
gonna
starting the
ask
timer now. I'm just saying.
You're starting the timer now?
Yes.
Do you guys want me to ask combat?
Yeah. See if it's like melee or shooting based, or if there's
Do you I'm going to ask if you shoot something. Sound good?
Yeah.
Do you shoot things in the game?
1 second.
Okay.
I apologize.
My question.
I've
just wanna let
paused
you
your
know
timer. I've paused your timer.
My question is in under the
Your
timer.
question is in. Your question is in. Jesus Christ.
Matt's confused.
Damn it, Wikia. Damn it, Wikia. Wikipedia.
Matt,
Yes, you do.
You sure seem to not know
So
a
you
lot
do
about
shoot
your game
things.
you picked.
So you shoot things.
Shoot things. Okay.
2001 before license.
Let's see. It's not multiplayer, correct?
2D.
So this
Yeah,
is
there's
question.
no multiplayer.
This is question 10, correct?
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
theoretically, multiplayer. it's multiplayer meaning online multiplayer, or multiplayer meaning 2-player co-op, like couch co-op?
There's just no multiplayer. There's no multiplayer, period. So,
is this a platformer?
No.
Okay.
No. So now we're at 10, so we get our 2 minutes, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Let us know when you start the 2 minutes.
Started.
Okay.
No multiplayer, not a platformer. You shoot stuff.
Are you thinking
License game?
It's a license game. I'm thinking like you shoot hockey, you shoot pucks, goals. Wings.
It's true.
I don't know.
I'm not you, Moose.
Could be NBA.
Hockey. He likes
I
hockey.
do like hockey. Hockey's a good time.
It's not multiplayer though. Most hockey games are multiplayer, right?
Word.
That's true. You do have a point. Sorry.
So that eliminates sports games. License game. I don't know. Terminator. Was there like weird Terminator games? Batman.
I was thinking up until the license part, I was thinking Contra, but
are there any licensed Contra style games? Like,
no. What about like the shit? No, those aren't licensed either.
Minute.
All right, what are we asking next?
What about the Aerosmith game? Like they did have the Terminator game that I don't know if it was on PC, but it was in the arcades. And like the Aerosmith game where you use like music discs, like CDs to shoot stuff.
Revolution X.
Yeah. That was it. Fuck.
What do we need to narrow down? What do we need to narrow down?
I think we kind of maybe need console. Like we kind of need like console.
Right, because there's a lot of...
It was also on PC.
Or generation.
Yeah, but there's a lot of licensed games where like one version came to Super Nintendo, one version came to Genesis, one version came to PC. Like you look at the Disney licensed games like Aladdin, Lion King, all those were different per console.
It's my turn after the 2 minutes, right?
I think it's
that's my turn.
It's Jeff's.
Okay. All right, it's Jeff's. All right. I don't know what to ask.
Jeff, timer has started for you.
All right. Has the intellectual property that the game is licensed after ever been made into a TV show or movie?
Yes.
Okay, so it was a TV show or a movie.
Was there a weird Ghostbusters style thing?
Was there a Predator?
I'll give you this clue. It's both, actually.
A TV show and a movie?
Mm-hmm.
TV show and a movie. Fuck.
Well, that could still be Terminator because Sarah Connor Chronicles came out.
20 seconds.
It's true.
Moose,
5 seconds.
Who's asking the question?
You, Moose.
30 seconds are up.
Is it a rail shooter?
No.
Like on the rails? Sorry.
Corey.
That eliminates the arcade versions of the game because it was kind of on rails.
So
that eliminates the Terminator stuff.
Yeah.
That I know of. It's a TV show and a movie.
You
got to make sure the person acknowledges the time has started, Matt.
Shoot. Can you get power-ups in this game?
I'm going to pause the time. Because actually, I do not remember that.
Really liking this. The anxiety. All right. So it's been a movie and a TV.
Matt Shern seems to not know a lot about the game he picked.
I know.
Well, I know about the game I picked until you guys ask specific questions about it. Then it becomes a problem. Because, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't want to tell you how long it's been because that'll sort of give you a clue. But it's been a long time since I played this game. No, you do not get power-ups.
Jeez. Okay, so it could be Jurassic Park.
That wasn't a TV show.
No, you're right. Dang it.
Sorry to
10 seconds left.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jess.
Was the TV and or movie adaptation of the intellectual property animated? Or I can't say animated or live action, right? Yeah, it's a yes or no question.
Yeah, so it'd have to be animated.
So was it animated?
Okay. One of them was.
One of them was.
Okay, I'm gonna start the timer for Moose now.
Shit, what is that? What would that be like that could be like a Transformers game?
Could be.
Maybe
Could be like Spider-Man.
I don't even know what to ask. And you asked if it had side scrolling, right?
Yeah. Not a side scroller.
And 2D.
It is a side scroller, it's just not a platformer.
Oh, right.
What generation was
Could be a brawler, but
the Genesis in? Was that in
16-bit-ish?
fourth? No, what generation?
I don't know, the 16-bit generation.
That was way before 2000.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't even know what to ask.
30 seconds.
Ask if it is something had to do with like superheroes or something.
Yeah, that is a good question. Does the game have to do with superheroes?
No.
Okay. That eliminates
So
a
it's
lot.
not an X-Men
So
game.
that was question 15.
Yes, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Timer started now, gentlemen.
So it's not an X-Men game. So that works.
It's not Spider-Man, not any of those weird Batman games that came out.
Yeah.
Not a platformer, so that eliminates a lot of the Disney stuff that came out at that time.
What the fuck?
But
the TV show or the movie was animated.
do we want to narrow down like console generation now? Because like I feel like that might help a lot.
30
So we got
seconds.
5 questions. So you
have a minute and a half left.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I say yes. I say we narrow down like the console generation, so we can try and get a good guess in.
Okay.
Jeff, you think that's a good idea?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So what I would say, I really want to say it's Genesis. What was it? Genesis and Super Nintendo?
Yeah, and TurboGrafx technically, but
in TurboGrafx, I think I want to say it fell in that generation.
I mean,
but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
because
I'm assuming.
So
since he kind of hinted that it's on PC, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's probably not a handheld game.
Yeah. So we also have if it's 2D but it's not
we have chuckling.
It's not a side scroller. It's 2D but it's not a side scroller.
You are at a minute 30, gentlemen.
What kind of games are 2D but not side scrolling? Brawlers, but those are multiplayer. Like a lot of those are multiplayer. So
brawlers. What about the let's see, it's not a rail shooter. That's what I'm saying, like where you stand there and like you shoot at stuff like in front of you, but then that's kind of like 3D almost. I really don't know.
I'm gonna start narrowing
3,
down
2,
time.
1, 2 minutes.
Okay, so it's my question. So
starting the timer now.
Did this game initially come out during the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis generation?
No. Wait. I actually have to Google what year that was. Do you mind?
Okay.
No, take your time. Gives us more time to think of questions.
Okay, so if he has to look this up, shoot. That means he didn't play it on either of those consoles. Gosh, that means he might have played it on like an old PC or like some kind of emulator. Or
I bet you he plucked it from the games that he played on his emulator when he was in his corporate job.
He probably said the name of the game during the show, which is something that I always do.
Name during the show.
So
I will say this. The movie is very underrated and actually very good. The TV show, a bit dumb. Game was not great. And I'm also going to give you one more thing since you guys are at question 16.
Are you going to answer the question?
Are you asking me if it? Because here's the thing. This game split generations. Initially, it came out during the time that you were mentioning. I'm sorry, no. Initially, it did not come out during the time you were mentioning. So post Super Nintendo, it did not come out.
How did it split generations then? It would have been out later than that. So what is it then?
It was out. It was initially released before Super Nintendo, but it was not on Super Nintendo. It was on another console that you mentioned, though.
Probably the Sega Genesis.
Spoiler alert, yes, you're right.
Spoiler alert, nobody bought a TurboGrafx 16. Although I did know a buddy of mine in high school.
Zonk was amazing.
What's that?
I said Air Zonk was amazing.
Yeah, you can't even spell Air Zonk. Okay, I'm starting the 30-second timer now for the next question.
All right, Jeff.
Question 17, I don't know who it is.
So did we agree that it's Sega?
Yeah, Matt just
Who is it? Me?
I said it came out
Jeff.
on the Genesis.
Oh, it's
Jeff, and it came out on the Genesis.
It came out on the Genesis.
But it was initially released before the time that you asked me. Take that into effect.
And you don't shoot. I mean, you shoot, but it's not a side scroller.
Right.
I thought he said it was a side scroller.
It is.
It is a side
scroller. It is a side scroller, but it's not a platformer. I mean, sorry, not a platformer. So,
what are
you could consider like the games where you fly a ship. That's
20 seconds left.
You're just flying a ship.
Like R-Type or Grandia.
But he said it was human. You said it was a human.
Yeah, but you play a human. You can play a human inside the ship.
I hate you, Matt.
And we said it was not a superhero.
Yeah.
Right.
15 seconds left.
God damn.
Is it based on a Disney property?
Oh, jeez, how the fuck am I supposed to know that? Hang on, let me Google real quick.
Matt's not allowed to pick games anymore.
It's not like the Disney I don't think it's a Disney property. I really don't. And once I tell you what game it is, once you guys get this wrong, I'll tell you. You'll understand what I mean.
I feel like Matt spent more time looking at his phone than we have guessing.
Jesus. There's no, it does not.
Well, it's definitely not the game I'm thinking if you have to look it up.
What game were you thinking?
Aladdin?
No. It's not an obvious Disney property. I can tell you that for sure.
What if it was Tron? Because didn't Tron have a cartoon series that was animated and the movie's not? And you shoot stuff in that.
Yeah.
And the game. Corey.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I don't know who.
Oh, shit. But I don't even know if there was a Tron game out on Genesis. To be honest.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't think Tron had an animated.
Okay, this is not a Disney property, and it's even weirder who owns it. So,
well, I need to have that answer after we burn through this. I need to know who actually owns it because you said that's weird. So, anyways, it's my question.
Yeah.
Does the game take place in modern times?
No.
Okay.
Right. That's 18. Does your I don't even know what to ask. Shoot. This is so nerve-wracking. Does your
20 seconds left.
Shoot, I don't even know.
10 seconds left.
Does your character
5 seconds left.
any sort of armor?
To the Wikia.
No, because here's the thing. Based on RPGs, leather is armor.
Ooh.
So do you want me to clarify, or
are you talking metal armor?
I'm talking like protective armor. It's not like
instead
not
of just
like
a fucking shirt and shorts, man.
It's not like, I'm not talking about in the RPG sense. I'm talking about visually. Does it look like this person?
Are you looking at a naked man? Is that what you're asking me? Do I look like Chris Har here, trying to get you to guess a game with penises in it? Really?
I'm gonna punch you. It does have.
You'll be here in, what day is it? The 14th. You'll be here in 12 days. You can punch me. I look forward to it.
Oh man.
Okay, armor. Is your character naked? No. Does he wear actual armor? No.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
He wears clothing.
What if it's like freaking? Well, never mind. I was gonna say like Duke Nukem, but
I don't think it was on Genesis, bro.
Dummy.
He didn't have a movie or a TV series.
That'd be freaking awesome if Duke Nukem had a '90s movie. Demolition Man. It'd be like Demolition Man, but with Duke Nukem.
Okay, so question 19. I'm starting the timer now. Anybody have an issue?
That's Jeff. No.
Jeff, I'm starting the timer now. You got 30 seconds starting from now.
So, queuing off of that, it's a shooter. Do the what you shoot in the game monsters?
In the metaphoric sense, no.
In the Sylvia Plath, we're all gonna die.
No. Your character is human, and you essentially shoot at other humans. That's the only non-yes or no.
Okay.
It's a licensed product.
Moose, I'm starting the counter now.
2D, side scroller. I want to say, didn't Demolition Man have a video game?
Yeah, it was on the 3DO though. It was on like the Panasonic 3DO.
I don't even know what to ask. I have no idea what to ask.
Yeah.
10 seconds left.
Can you like upgrade your character? Can you?
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's good. Oh, can you choose from multiple characters?
No.
Okay.
You have 5 minutes starting now, gentlemen.
Fuck.
The fact that it's not a superhero is killing a lot of choices for me.
So it's on the Genesis. It's had a movie. It had a TV series. What? And it's a shooter?
I'm going to pause the timer for you guys. It's on the Genesis. It wasn't initially released on the Genesis.
Yeah, but I'm sure a lot of people played it on the Genesis.
I wonder if it's one of those freaking games where
initially I did not play it on the Genesis.
Like yeah.
You guys are at 20 seconds. I'm going to resume the timer now. Is that a problem?
No. So it was originally released on the Genesis, but he didn't play it on the Genesis.
No, I played it when it was initially released. It was on the Genesis. It wasn't initially released on the Genesis.
Okay. Fuck.
Well,
I don't even know.
Yeah,
because like my list of video game movies are like all the shitty ones, like Resident Evil, the later Mortal Kombat's, the fucking Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it had to be like indie or a live action like movie.
Yeah,
I mean like a smaller like B movie or something like that.
Yeah,
we are gonna kick ourselves.
Yeah, I know.
Jeff,
I feel
what are
like
you thinking?
4 minutes left.
Yeah, everything that I'm coming up with, there's a missing element to, like
what licenses were out then? Like, I mean, did Alien vs Predator have a game out then? Or like
No, you're way far off.
Series though. Did Alien vs Predator
there
have
was
a
an
series?
Alien versus Predator game, but I don't think you're a human.
Was there like
shooting at other humans?
I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know. I am so out of ideas. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
RoboCop.
Yeah, but you're not wearing armor. I was thinking the same thing, but you don't wear armor. And you
2 minutes.
Would you consider RoboCop a human?
Yeah, well, he started as a human.
He's not a human. He's a cyborg.
I don't know.
What about? I don't know. What is not a superhero? Like anything I think of is like superhero or like.
Yeah. Or it's like something that didn't have a series or a movie.
Yeah, it's like one of the other.
What I mean? Like both. I think like I had Jurassic Park, but then that didn't have a series, as far as I know.
Yeah. Like I mean, Ghostbusters, but like that. You're not shooting monsters. You're shooting humans. Like I don't think you're shooting humans in Ghostbusters, right?
No, you're not. You're shooting monsters.
2 minutes left, gentlemen.
Shoot, and like not based off superheroes. It's not Batman, Spider-Man, Venom. What did Last Action Hero or like True Lies have a series? Like I don't know. I'm just
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because that's multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think I don't think those had series.
Human.
Last Action Hero or True Lies, even though
I think they just had movies. It's not a Disney game.
It'll be interesting. I don't know.
I don't know. If it's based off
1 minute left. You guess as a team. Moose.
I mean,
all right.
I don't know.
I don't know either, man.
I honestly am just like really lost right now, unless you considered like Michael Jackson's quote TV series music videos. Like
he didn't have a TV series.
What did I just say, Matt? Open your ears, man. I said unless he considered Michael Jackson's quote TV series as music videos. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not Moonwalker.
Nope, it's not Moonwalker. 15 seconds left.
I just don't know at this point.
I'm drawing a blank. I have no clue. I don't know. Because like I'm missing, like Jeff said, I'm missing a component out of everything that I can come up with.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea.
You want to forfeit it?
Can you read this? Your time's up. I'm telling you.
Dick Tracy.
You didn't even let us guess.
I didn't even know that was a game.
Your time's up. Your time's up.
We still get a guess?
No, you don't get a guess.
We still get a guess?
You have 5 minutes to guess.
No, we have 5 minutes to discuss.
Okay, well, 2/3 of you gave up. You were not going to pull Dick Tracy out of your ass. I don't care how long your arms are, how deep you get.
It's principle, Matt. Principle.
I win.
You don't win. You showed us the answer before we could guess, even though all of our answers are wrong.
Back in the lead.
I was going to say Demolition Man.
I know you were. The game was...
Demolition Man did come out on Genesis, by the way.
It did. The game was released in August of 1990. The NES was released in November of 1990. It was initially released on the Nintendo. It eventually went to Game Boy, Genesis, or Game Boy Master System and Genesis. Now, the reason I asked, or the reason I answered, is this exclusive to console? And I said at this point, no, is because you didn't say initially released.
All right.
Anyways,
Fair enough.
that was a good game, man.
That was.
And
I
if still
there's-
hate you forever.
And if we need a show title, it's "You're Not Going to Pull Dick Tracy Out of Your Ass."
That's true.
That's what
Yeah,
you said.
there we go.
I suggest titles to Corey all the time. He never listens.
He just makes it episode 57. That's it. There's no
You're like episode 57. Fuck Matt.
Yep. That's
Yep.
Episode 57.
Episode 57, Yellow Trench Coats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a good episode.
It
It was
was.
a good episode. I hate you, Matt, but that was a good episode.
That's, you know, it's
What's the score now? It's what, like
it's
4?
4-3 to 1.
Yeah, I'm losing big time.
I have 4. Moose has 3. Corey has 1.
That just means I need to pick a
Still
good
not
game
last.
this week.
I mean, yeah. You need to figure out good games. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. Okay.
I've listened to the episode where you got us, and I still don't remember what your game was.
What was
I
my
don't
game?
remember it either.
We
I don't
completely backed out. We're like forfeit at like question 12 because, and I'm not going to say it, but I think Moose and I know why we backed out. But we backed out.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I don't remember what my game was, but I'm on the board, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Anyways, Jeff, where can we find you on this place called the internet?
I am Mr. Hefe, MisterHeffe on PSN, Xbox Live, and Steam, and also on Twitter. That's the same handle.
Mr. Hefe spelled like a white person. Just say.
As my face glows.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
As my
spoiler
face
alert.
glows in the monitor light here.
I was gonna say, like, your room got extremely dark. And I was like, he probably
Well,
didn't
the
turn
sun has
light on
gone
after
down
the
now.
sun
We've
went
been on
yeah,
this
yeah,
long.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, exactly.
220. That's based, which is my unofficial count.
Yeah. Moose, where can we find you?
You can find me at Sven, SVHENN, on PlayStation Network, Instagram, Twitter. I am on Xbox, but
Nah.
don't
No,
even
you're
go
not.
on, but
Stop lying to
You
everybody.
can also find me on the Nerds Gone Platinum podcast with my co-host Jason. You can tweet us at NG_platinum, or you can email us at nerdsgoneplatinum@gmail.com if you got any questions, comments, or concerns revolving around the PlayStation platform or ecosystem.
Matt?
I am Matthew Keel. You can find me at infinite_rewind on every social media platform I desire to be on. If you're speaking to someone named infinite_rewind, and it's not this dumb face saying this dumb stuff, they're going to let you down in ways I cannot imagine, nor can you. Find me on PlayStation at that tag, Instagram at that tag. I also co-host The Brew Review with John Martin, Corm, and Jesse White. I also co-host Matt and the B Flats with Brian Spagnoli and Brian Raleigh. We talk about music on Matt and the B Flats, beer on The Brew Review. Yeah. Find me there. You can find me in the NGR group on Facebook, as well as Tasty Beer Thursday on Facebook. And come make fun of me. You'll have a good time.
It's always a good time.
Yeah. Corey,
Corey,
take us
where
home.
can we find you?
You can find me at Corey Hudson and HD on Twitter, Corey and HD on Instagram and Twitch. You can find me on our other shows as well, Nintendo Pow Block, which is our Nintendo show. And where else can you find me? You can find me in the NGR Facebook group. You can tweet at NGR Radio, at NGR Radio Podcast. You can find all of our stuff on ngrradio.com. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share. check out all of our podcasts. Check out our family podcast. Check out our friends' podcasts. There's so many out there. Just have fun. Support each other. Be nice to one another.
Yeah. Don't be a racist.
Except for Matt. Yeah, don't be a racist.
Fuck me, right?
We don't have to be racist against him. You just have to be nice to him.
Oh, man.
And then when I spend a whole bunch of time waxing you in PvP Bloodborne, you'll rethink your life. It's cool.
Yeah. Well,
we need to do that more often because you need to like get a winning record against me.
Yeah.
I'm like 1-1.
No, you're like 0-1.
0-1?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it's Ahmed that I beat. I beat someone who's like way better than you, so I'm not worried.
That's fine.
Anyways, you can find NGR Radio every Monday at 10 a.m. on your podcast service of choice and on our YouTube page. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we love you.
Peace.
Banana and out. We playing Bloodborne after this?